130 pounds. The Warrior Queen, Zenobia! I gotta untie my tongue.
Well, the way I hear you talking about Lucky, there's a reason why your tongue is tied. Really? 90210, we're letting little California bimbos into the ring now with real women like Zenobia? What? Once again, what is wrong with this company? Why can't they get these women some real competition?
I mean, you gotta think about it is you look at Lucky, and yeah, she's from California. It doesn't make her a bimbo. She may be blonde. It doesn't make her a bimbo. Although, you know, somebody like Pammy McMahon might actually agree with you, but you got to think she's actually a really good wrestler and a great technician inside that ring.
Yeah. Great technician, great wrestler. What has she really done? She's a rookie. She has proven absolutely nothing. She needs to be back here, and she needs to be cleaning up the restrooms is what she needs to be doing. She needs to earn her way into the ring instead of just flipping her hair and saying, oh, I can wrestle, and somebody around here who makes the decisions agrees with her.
They're both blonde-haired, so you can't say one is more dumb than the other, because if blonde jokes go, they both got blonde hair. But in the ring, that was a good lock-up and a shove.
Oh my, do I see the gorgeous Pammy coming down here?
You do. Right now we got...
Go right ahead, please.
I was going to say, right now we got Lucky saying, give me a minute as she performs her calisthenics.
See what I mean? She needs to be worrying about wrestling instead of being the fan favorite and trying to get everybody's attention. This is not a pageant. This is war. She's in the squared circle. She needs to be a warrior. I'm sorry, Pammy. I'm sorry you got to sit over there next to him. They don't have a chair next to me who's somebody who really appreciates a woman such as yourself.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will stand up so she can have my seat as a gentleman. Buddy, I'm from the South, and that means I was a gentleman. So let me just step away here until she gets seated. I'll hop over the thing. There we go.
I'm surprised you could even get up that high without a crane or a trampoline.
Anyway, up in the match, Zenobia is showing her strength as she actually does once again a lock-up shove. And Lucky once again being apologizing.
Oh my gosh, what is this? A match in Lollipop Land? You do whatever it takes to win. Lucky needs to realize that. Just get her out of the ring and get some real competition for Zen.
She tried for that super kick, but Zenobia actually caught it, and up she goes.
Pammy, you are here to bring class and beauty to this commentary team, unlike myself, but I come out here last week and was trying to carry these guys. I am so glad you're here.
Really, NG? Really?
Okay, listen up, Natalie. You remember, you will refer to me, you can refer to me as Mr. BK or Sir BK. It's not that hard. There's only a few letters. Even you get that.
Right, like you said, NG. Gotcha.
Okay, Natalie.
Some ground stomps by Zenobia as Lucky is down. Zenobia is showing her the bottom of her boots.
I agree with you 100%, Pammy. Although you do have to admit, Zenobia, she is a fierce warrior. I know that she has held the title, and I know that when she goes in there, she gives 110%, and that's the kind of competition that is needed here. It should be women like you representing the women's division, not little, carrot stick twigs like you said, Lucky.
Either way you look at that twig with that light weight of hers actually ducked under a clothesline and goes for a roll-up pin. One.
Oh, come on, Rev. She's holding. Come on, Rev. She was holding her tights. Come on. What's going on?
She got a 2 count. I'll tell you, after she got stomped on by Zenobia, she rolled. She got up and rolled. She almost like nipped up roll. And tell you what else? She almost pinned Zenobia. So that's what's going on.
Well, Pammy, I for one am very pleased to have you out here. And what has been going on since since you won your briefcase match, and I know that you've been able to upclass your life a little bit, and people don't agree with it, but I really don't care because you're like me. You are a true redneck. Why don't you just go ahead and tell us what's been going on and tell us, why that I agree with you, why you're getting screwed here in the VAW.
Right now we got Lucky doing a little bit of turning there. Kind of a rookie mistake, to me.
And it's met by a spine-rattling spine buster.
Now, see, this is one of those times where I have to say Zen is making a mistake. She's letting the little girl get too much of a breath, and she's catching a break, and she's going to end up paying for it. Zen is a professional. She knows what she's supposed to be doing. She should be on her right now.
Well, it's still the point. You look at it, she kept escaping, and just the fact that spine buster. There, I got it out. I actually dropped her. I mean, you kind of take a minute to kind of relish in that fact. Lucky thing. Yeah, you're talking about the female wrestler there, Lucky, right, Pammy?
I can't believe you actually referred to her as a wrestler.
Irish whip right in. Irish whip right in the turnbuckles. Zenobia has Lucky in harm's way.
Right now the ref is telling them to get out, and Lucky's calling for her to stop, but that's one thing Zenobia doesn't do. She doesn't actually stop when you ask her to.
And that's why Zenobia is a great performer, and that's why she is where she's at. And that's why, even unfortunately, she's not holding the title right now. That's one of the marks. That's the reason why, because she is relentless. She knows what it takes to win. Just like Miss Pammy over here, she knows what it takes to win, and that's why that the women need to set themselves and use these two ladies as role models.
Goes for a pin and only gets a 1 count. After everything that Lucky's been through, I'm actually quite shocked she actually got her shoulder up at 1.
Lucky, she is deceptively tough. She has moxie. If you'll notice, by the way, Lucky got a 2 count, whereas Zenobia only got a 1 count. Just saying.
And Pammy, I'm sorry that you're being subjected to all this. We know that you could make, I hate to say it, but I know you make anybody a much better opponent than Lucky does. I'm sorry you're having to be out here and subjected to this, and the fact of the 2 idiots you got to sit between.
Idiots? She doesn't sit between you.
I'm sorry, did I stutter?
Stutter? No, Oh, you weren't talking about yourself, were you?
I said, okay, I know you can count. You're on one side, that's number 1. Rowdy's on the other side, that's 2. That's 2 idiots that she's sitting in between. I mean, come on, even you realize that.
I thought you were talking about you and your ego.
No,
Sound like
you're
that's
the only
me
one.
too there.
No, you're the only one with the ego in here, which is why earlier when the guy made the jump, I was surprised he could get up and get over it, considering the fact that it takes about 5 gallons of KY for you just to get your ego to slide through the door.
As right now,
BK, only in your mind, brother. Only in your mind.
The 2 count by Zenobia. What does Zenobia have to do to put Lucky away?
Well, considering how little she is, she's probably a vegetarian. Just give her a little bit of beef broth, she'll get sick, and then she'll lay down.
Now, is that a stab at vegetarians?
No, that was a stab at Lucky.
Well, I'll tell you, a Native American once said, the sign of a vegetarian is a sign of a lousy hunter.
Well, obviously that's not Zenobia, because right now she's been in control of. Okay. Well, anyway, Zenobia's been in control of this match for the most part. Had a nice, big boot split to the head.
And look at you two guys. You ran Pammy off. What the hell? A beautiful woman like that comes down here, and she's just down here to bring class to the show, and you two run her off.
And in the meantime, Lucky seems to have the driver's seat, and she seems to be in control.
Well, Lucky better not be distracted by Pammy as she throws Zenobia on the ropes. She hits that shoulder block.
Can you hear her? Lucky, she sure does holler a lot. I tell you, when Zenobia hits her, she hollers. That just goes to show you Zenobia is tough.
You know, you're sitting there saying that Lucky does holler a lot and she groans a lot and moans a lot. Maybe she's going to audition for one of those mature movies you were talking about, because that seems like she's worried about what people think about her instead of getting the job done in the ring.
As right now, she's begging Zenobia to just hold up a second.
What in the world?
Now, I think that innocent look of hers is actually more of a, the heck is she doing? Literally has jumped on Zenobia, wrapped her arms and legs around her. And that's apparently fans, yeah, that wow.
What in the world? What?
As she hits her with a nice move, just dropping Zenobia.
Oh no, you're telling me? Are you telling me that was fair what she did to do something like that and to embarrass herself and to embarrass the other women in this division? No.
Go for it.
And the winner!
Go for it. Drink.
No.
After a kill switch, after fooling Zenobia, very smart, winner is Lucky!
Very smart. That was a low shot. That was not... That's not... What in the world is going on around here? They allow their quote-unquote good girls to do stuff like that and get away with it? That can't be legal.
Well, it's all legal. She didn't do anything that was against the rules. I mean, sure, she definitely kissed her, but that obviously was a ploy tactic.
That was so freaking funny, man. And it worked.
That is one cheap way to pick up a victory.
Hey, but a win's a win. Doesn't matter how it's obtained. Because it's by the rules.
Exactly, Lorena. Exactly.
Alright. Now, folks, there's several things we want to. There's a lot of things we got to cover, and we only have 10 minutes to cover it in. So sit back, relax, and get ready to go. Because we have a fan interaction HUD. Yes, you heard me right. Fan interaction HUD. That you can rate the show, comment which matches you like, which wrestlers you like. Cheer, you can support your favorite wrestlers. You can boo your least favorite wrestlers. Believe me, management is listening on that. Plus, we have a camera feature on there. Let production take control of your camera. Get tired of trying to angle your camera? Definitely let production take control of that and let them work on those angles. Just shout HUD, and you'll get it, and the HUD will be delivered to you lightning fast. We aim to please, and it's quick, and all you do is just wear it. Also, we've got a website, a forum for you. That's where all the backstage action is actually happening. You want to keep up with your favorite wrestlers and what they're doing outside the arena? Definitely sign up for that forum. Register and keep checking out the news feed. There's a bunch of different topics in there. Just go in there and explore. Just shout website and you'll end up getting the website. Just register and go. I think it's time now to go over the card.
Alrighty then. You must have the card.
Got the card.
Out up my sleeve.
But anyway, our first match of the night is shit. I'll burnt myself. But anyway, the first match of the night is actually Dustin Hernandez going up against the New Blood champion, Sin. Your guys' predictions on this match right now?
Well, not the fact that I really care, but I know that Sin holds the title, but I also know he holds the title because the powers that be tells him that he can. And I know that for a while he's been playing the mind games and he's been ducking out, and he hasn't really been in the ring wrestling, and he hasn't been continuing to hone his skills. So I think there's going to be an upset tonight, and I think that little Dustin, he's going to come up and he's going to shock the world. My money is on Dustin, unlike the rest of everybody else. It's like, oh no, it's got to be Sin because he's the one that everybody likes. It's not who you like, it's who's the best.
I try to look down the middle. I try not to take sides. I recognize the athletic ability and prowess of each individual, and I commentate with respect. But then I just kind of tend to get upset when I see people taking cheap shots in the ring and things like that.
Well,
What the hell?
match number 2 is actually a last woman standing match. Yes, folks, you heard me right. A last woman standing match against Ayani versus Chrissy. What are your guys' ideas or thoughts on this match right here?
I don't want to fight you.
I did say it right, didn't I?
Yes! Ayane!
So who are the ladies involved in the last woman standing match?
Like I told you, Ayani and Chrissy in this last standing match.
That ain't gonna be a match. That's gonna be a war. And I tell you what, I think there may even be some blood.
And that is basically due to the fact of the build-up of everything leading up to now. Is, she came in, she ended up, Ayani ended up interrupting.
Global warming, that's what this is leading up to. I tell you, it's kind of like ignition. And global warming is going to be the lift off, if you will.
But you got to remember, though, Rowdy, a couple weeks ago, in that Temptations match, turned around and Ayani actually screwed Chrissy out of that Temptations title match, and it's just been out for blood ever since. Okay, what is your actual thoughts on this match? Apparently, it seems his mic has been unplugged. Wonder who. Oh, there he is.
Having some issues here. SL wanting to not play so nice today.
What is your actual thoughts on the last woman standing match of Ayane versus Chrissy?
Well, considering the fact that last week when I was in here, Little Miss Prissy Chrissy decided that it was more important to turn this into a popularity contest, bouncing around and blowing her kisses and high-fiving everybody. And I think Ani is going to come in here and she is going to use that little nappy head of hers and she is going to wipe the ring up with her and she's going to teach her not to be in her yard.
As I said, I think it's going to be a war, and you know what? The fans are the beneficiaries.
And now the main event that we have coming up then, not to cut you guys short on anything, but we're cutting short on time before the show starts. The main event today is actually a tag match where we have Danny Boy Firehawk and Danny Thunder teaming up, and both these big boys are from Turbulence, are actually taking on a couple members of Elite. That is Mr. Hollywood and the phenomenal Jamal Travis. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
Rowdy, you've been around for 1,000 years. I'll go ahead and I'll let you start on this one.
I have to admit, I never make it to the Tuesday shows because I'm always out of town and on business. But I know Danny Boy Firehawk, and the two Dannys that represent Turbulence are some tough fellers. Danny Boy Firehawk's a southern boy just like me, and he ain't afraid to fight, buddy. I tell you what, they're going to be some brawls. Danny Thunder? Well, Danny Thunder is good at high impact moves, and those two fellers that they're going to fight, they have to be good or else they wouldn't be in the main event.
Well, my opinion is the fact that you got these two elite jabronis coming over here, and they're finally wanting to step up to the big time, and they're wanting to get into competition. Our Turbulence guys, they are definitely going to wipe the floor with them. I may not agree with everything they do. I might agree with everything they do, but this match, in my opinion, this is more along bragging rights about who has the better talent, and we know we have it here, and it's just going to be one more step to show why everybody needs to come out to the Thursday Night Turbulence and see what the future of wrestling really is.
Well, I have to go with, I have to actually go, I'm sorry, maybe I'm biased here, but, I mean, I'm rooting for the Turbulence guys myself, but there's one thing you got to remember is that tag match they had last week, where Danny Boy Firehawk and Danny Thunder were actually on opposite teams, and those two ended up brawling in the back toward the back. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they could put the differences aside in this match against the Elite boys that are coming over tonight.
Well, one thing that if you've been paying attention in all the years that you supposedly are telling me that you've been a professional, is that you can have your personal conflicts. You can have somebody in there you don't like. But when you get somebody that's trying to invade your turf and come into your territory, true professionals, unlike yourself, can put personal differences aside and defend your territory and tell people you're not welcome here unless you're invited.
Oh,
I have to say,
Rowdy.
There's a time or two when two fellas get into a knockdown, drag-out fight. After that, they good buddies. That could be what the deal is between the two Dannys. They could, after that knockdown, drag-out, blood, tooth tooth loosening fight they had. After this, they probably went out and had a beer together.
Gonna find out because it is now 3 p.m. SLT, and we're gonna get the show started right about now.
Oh my God, somebody in the back listened to him, and now it's going to go to his head and make that ego even bigger. Oh, jeez.
What, you think we're communicating? No, I just have great timing.
And you just got lucky because you suck worse than a 50-cent hoe at Mardi Gras that can't say no.
Hey, fans, there's still time. You can go out to get you some snacks at the Fufnik Snack Shop. You know they got the best chili dogs this side of Second Life, guaranteed to give you gas and help solve the energy crisis.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to VAW Turbulence. If this video will stop. Anyway, I am your host and co-commentator tonight, the voice of Detroit, Natas Grimmore. Sitting to the right of me is Rowdy Rob, and sitting to the left is who I call NG, but for sake of the name, we'll call him BK, so y'all know. But I'm still gonna call him NG. So how you fellas doing tonight?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you there, Natalie. Definitely looking forward to a very great show for tonight, and just as the fans are. And I think it would be a lot better if you just shut your mouth and watch and let somebody like Rowdy, who actually knows what he's doing, do the job properly. And maybe you could take a few notes from him.
Now, come on, buddy. That ain't right. We all got something to say. We should all be able to say it.
Oh, he can say it all right as long as he says it through duct tape.
Boy, you a kinky bastard, aren't you? Anyway,
that's what your girlfriend said. And before you said, I know you don't have one, but I'm the reason you don't.
Anyway, we've got a great show for you tonight, but don't forget, folks, just shout out HUD, get that HUD, definitely cheer your favorite, definitely boo your least favorite. Management is listening. Also, rate the show, rate the wrestlers, you can just rate anything when it comes down to this show, and also take privilege of the camera option. Let production actually take care of your production, your video, your camera. That's the word I'm looking for, camera. If you get tired of actually trying to get the perfect angle and everything, how about you don't worry about it? Let production actually take control of it as we get on to the first match. Alright, yeah. Introducing your combatants for the evening. Hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada, standing at 6'2", 230 pounds, the show stealer, Dustin Hernandez. And coming from, well, parts unknown, standing at 6'9", weighing 299 pounds, the demon of death, Sin Rage.
Look what you get.
See, now this is a perfect opportunity for a young stud like Dustin to step up and show that he belongs here. Yeah, I know. Sin is the champion and he's wearing the gold, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he deserves it. I would not be shocked if there was an upset tonight because Sin has not been in the ring in such a long time, which means he's basically a paper champion.
Do you see the size difference of these two?
You know what? You're all the same size when you're lying on your back.
Do you not see the size difference? I mean,
Have you never heard of the story of David and Goliath?
Well, Dustin doesn't have a sling or a stone now, does he?
Well,
No, he
actually,
doesn't.
what you do if you're smaller in stature, shorter that is, you go for the leg, take out their wheel, and once you take out their wheel and they're on the ground, then that gives you an advantage.
But you also got to remember, the bigger they are, the more bones they break. So, as the match begins, name that movie.
I'll tell you though, Sin kind of reminds me of a mixture. You take Sting when he was in his prime and Undertaker when he's in his prime, mix them together and that's what you got when you get Sin, the demon of rage.
Well, nonetheless, Dustin, on the other hand, is trying to run from him. Did you see that? He slid it. He isn't going to, is he? Oh, and he does. He does a vertical suplex into the ring. Dustin wasn't running anywhere from that one.
And you got it wrong once again. Dustin was not running. He was using his speed to try to lure Sin into a false sense of security. Unfortunately, this time it didn't work out, but I guarantee his speed and his conditioning is going to work in his favor. The match is just now getting started.
Good use of a vertical suplex, because that's a hell of a way to bring somebody back in a ring.
It is. So you're saying that he was advancing in another direction?
No, he wasn't advancing in another direction. He was doing what a smart wrestler does. He knows that he is in a match right now, in which size does play a part because of the strength. But yet he knows that he's smaller and he's quicker and he's more agile, and he was trying to use that to his advantage. Unfortunately, he got caught. But like I said, the match is just now starting. You cannot judge this match based on one vertical suplex.
No, but that vertical suplex, as long as he held him up there and as far as he actually threw him from outside the ring, that actually shows how strong he really is. No, but you are correct. You can't judge a match. But it looks like the lockup, and Dustin with a nasty eye rake.
I'm sorry, I didn't see him rake his eyes. I saw him try to get an advantage, and Sin's face just happened to go across his hand. Are you watching the same match I am?
I believe you just said in more words what I just said.
No, you said he raked his eye. I said his face went across his hand. You made it look like Dustin did it on purpose. He wouldn't do anything like that. He was just trying to get a better advantage, and his hand slipped.
He raked his ass and he took him down with a drop kick. Now he's doing a Bishop stomp, and right at this moment, the show stealer is stealing the show, as his name says, but the match is still young. We'll see what happens.
Now there, Natalie, as you can see, Sin is laying flat on his back. Who's standing up taller now? Dustin is.
Now, that would be true, but if you actually put Dustin horizontally next to him, It's once again the size is actually going to play a factor there too.
Oh, I'm sure you heard that all your life, that size matters. I'm sorry, you sad little man.
It's not the size that counts, it's the motion in the ocean.
You just got done saying size matters. Now you're backtracking? Really?
It's okay. I'm allowed to do that.
Now this right here is where a young star like Dustin is making a mistake. He's giving Sin too much time. He needs to get over there and he needs to stay on him. He's letting him get up. He's letting him catch his breath. And yes, he is making a mistake right here. But this is where he's going to be in a learning process. But yet, just like on any given Sunday, anybody can win at any time. So do not count Dustin out.
As he starts going out with lefts and rights, definitely starting to try to reel the big man.
He gets into a brawl with Sin. It could be a mistake. The bigger man could hit a lot harder than Joe Steeler does. And just as I said, Sin is firing back. Either one of these fellas ain't no slouch when it comes to brawling.
Now see, the ref needs to get in there because he's in him with a closed fist, which is illegal, and the ref needs to get in there and do something about this and call a clean match.
She can see that their fists are open. I mean, what more do you want from her?
He's performing a punch. If you perform a punch, your fists are closed. If you want to slap somebody, the fists are open. They are sitting there literally punching. He's sitting there punching Dustin, and the ref is just standing by like, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing.
Oh, and right now he tried running to give a shoulder block, but Sid caught him with that snooplex slam. Underhook, snooplex.
A snooplex? Really? You're still on the snooplex?
I'm still on the snooplex.
Oh, come on, ref. Get in there. He's pulling him up by the hair. That's illegal.
He is not pulling him up by his hair.
I'm sorry. Did
a big old flare chop.
And look, a punch. He goes with a throat thrust. Sin literally just hit the man in the throat. That's not legal.
Sure is. That's a flare chop, my friend.
As Sin goes for the pin, 1, 2, and only a 2 count. And a throat thrust isn't illegal. It's a throat choke.
Okay, well, apparently I see that around here, that it all depends on who you are, depends on if you have to follow the rules or not, and the rules are broken by the favorites.
And, okay, speaking of favorites, okay, you got a little better with that tie, but you look like you're ready to hang yourself over actually being professional.
Okay, look. Just because I look better wearing less than you do fully clothed, and you get your clothes off the rack, 3 outfits for 3 lindens, don't be bagging on what I got just because you want to be like me.
You kidding me?
Sin had his back to his opponent, which is a mistake in most cases. He was staring at the referee, and now he turns to his opponent, and the show stealer got him with a kick to the gut and a suplex of his own.
See, that's where that speed and that agility comes in that I was telling you earlier. It has nothing to do with the height. It has nothing to do with size. It depends on what you can do to your opponent at any opportunity, and that's exactly what he did. He used the opportunity to get the advantage, and now, once again, like I said before, the man is on his back, so all that height does him absolutely no good.
Well, I guess he's saying it's time to steal the show, as he actually looks like, he's going up to the red light district, and unfortunately I have to agree with you, NG, that is definitely where his speed and agility does come in with that snooplex. But he also needed to get in that right position, or else that speed don't matter.
he's in a high-risk district, as in, he taking a risk. Anytime somebody flies off of that high turnbuckle, they taking a risk. It may not work.
Well, I mean, and Sin just crawled out of the ring and under the ring.
Oh, that's a mark
he
of a
came
real
back up.
champion.
Hey,
That
you
is
know
the
what?
mark of a real champion, crawling under the ring like a coward.
He lost his contact or something.
Yeah, how much are you getting paid to kiss the ass of all the goody-goody people that are walking around here? Why don't you just call the match like it is? He's not a real champion. He does not deserve the belt. And he doesn't even deserve to be a wrestler.
And, of course, now that the move that he tried didn't work, Dustin the Show Stealer is wanting to leave the ring and leave the match. Frustrated as he.
Just kind of some of the things that you're looking at here. And right now, Dustin, the guy that unfortunately NG's been cheering for, has been is calling for the ref to help.
Well, of course he's frustrated. He come here to compete. He didn't come here to get into the ring with somebody who's going to crawl into the ring and who's going to try to avoid him. He's trying to do what he was meant to do and what he loves to do. He wants to come in here and he wants to wrestle, and that opportunity is being taken away from the demon of death.
But yeah, he's in there crying like a little schoolgirl. But he does get a drop kick off. I will give him that. As he goes for a pin. 1. And only a 1 count. That move of desperation, that drop kick out of desperation, only got him a 1 count, and that's not surprising either.
Yeah, the only reason why he got a 1 count is because the ref was waiting, and she should have counted to 10 by now.
Referee Sarah Jane calls it down the middle, and she does it right. Now, Sin,
He's not hiding behind Sarah. He's bent down. He's tying his shoes. All he's doing is she happens to be in the way.
Right. Now he's saying, let's try round 2, and he's doing his calling about time to steal the show as he goes up to the red light district.
And Sin, he gets up. He gets up hurt, but he gets up.
Dustin better fly real quick before Sin actually gets his bearings. As Sid hits him with that tombstone pile driver, and that should be it. It really should be it as he goes for the pin. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. I think that is it. That is it, folks. And your winner of this match, Sin, the Demon of Death, Rage. That's right, he's D-E-D, dead.
Like I say, jumping off the top turnbuckle is a high risk. The show stealer tried it, and it backfired on him.
minute, Trent Raza, seems his music is up on the Titantron. Sin is a little confused there, a little distracted there, as he gets a drop kick from behind.
Trent Raza attacking Victoria's Sin after Sin trying to get his breath from a grueling match. Now, Trent taking advantage of his tiredness like a sneaky weasel that he is.
Oh, no. Don't you even, because last week we were sitting there talking that when you wear the gold, regardless if you deserve it or not, you have a target on your back. He should have been aware of his surroundings, and he should have not turned his back, and he should have been paying attention. Trent is doing what any man should do, coming up and he's making a statement saying, well, you have something that I want, and I'm going to get your attention, and I will get it one day eventually because you do not deserve it.
Well, Trent is also very frustrated over the fact of he feels he's been screwed out of that New Blood Championship with the 3 count, and his arm was under the ropes. That 3 count should not have happened. So I guess this is also payback. And that right there is, I have to agree with you, something that, Sid should have been a little more leery after the statements he has made over the last few weeks.
And just like you said, Trent got screwed. The count never should have counted. It never should have been an official win. And the man is frustrated because, you got Sin walking around wearing the title, wearing the belt. Oh, look at me. I'm a champion, when he didn't even win it fair and square. Trent should be wearing that title because we know that he can beat Sin. He knows he can beat Sin. The world knows he can beat Sin. And he just put Sin on notice and says, you're going to be my bitch the next time that I get a hold of you.
And not to mention, though, Saturday, both of these men are going to be in the Battle Royal at Global Warming this Saturday. So maybe they'll be able to get the hands on each other then. Who knows?
It's too bad that I don't have any say-so in it, because I would make sure that it was a match for the ages, and I'd put the guys I would put them inside of a chamber. I would put them inside of a cell. I'd put them in a cage. I would put them in a ladder match. I would make Sim prove that he deserves to wear the gold that he has.
One thing I have to say, I do like watching cage matches, and I would like to see a cactus cage. Now y'all say, what is a cactus cage? It's quite simple. It's a cage. At the top of the cage where the wrestlers crawl out, they got to get to the top and crawl out. Line the top of the cage with barbed wire, razor wire. Talk about a bloody match.
Oh, when you said cactus cage, I thought you was talking about something with spikes, like that little hairdo that Natalie over here's got on top of his head.
Anyway, remember, folks, just shout HUD and get the fan interaction HUD. That way, you can actually take part in all the extras we have here at VAW. You can support. You can, boo. Just remember, management is listening. So you can definitely show your support or dislike for any wrestler out there. Plus, you can rate the show. Also, remember, shout website. Get the web address for the forum. That way you can register and keep up to date on your favorite wrestlers and your favorite wrestling topics. Also, we actually have a few sponsors. And speaking of which, we have a Facebook. Hit the thumb. Follow us on Facebook. We also have a Twitter. We also have a YouTube and a Marketplace. We will get those to you, as soon as possible. Also, within those sponsors, we have E-Meshed Hunts. Contact Jenny Porta. Drop a note card if interested in interested in getting into the next hunt. Rocka Fitness. The premier gym for health and fitness in SL provides fun environment for all ages. You have access to fitness equipment, free weights, aerobic exercises, Tai Chi, and much, much more. Hot Spot Clothing. For all your Hot Spot clothing needs, check out Candy Trice, former VAW Women's Champ and VAW Hall of Famer, has set out to create innovative mesh and non-mesh clothing designs for men and women.
Speaking of Candy Trice, I gotta tell you something. I remember when she had a match against someone where she brought a M16 rifle to the match, like a foreign object or something.
Well, speaking of clothes there, Natalie, maybe you need to go over and do some shopping and she can give you some hints because you are like so 4-year ago newbie look.
And you're actually a cracked out noob look, so we'll get, tit for tat here. I mean, basically your tie style is actually the 80s called and wants it back. I'm sorry. Nobody that isn't from a throwback is actually going to wear a tie with no shirt on. Here we go with the last woman standing match.
I reckon this is going to be a nice knockdown, drag-out brawl.
I don't know what's going on with these people here booing a great athlete like Ayani. They need to be just thankful that they breathe the same air as she does.
Alright, your opponents for this last woman standing match is, first in order they came out, from Minato, Tokyo, Japan, standing at 5'5", weighing 115 pounds, is Ayana! And coming out of BC, Canada, Ayani. I'm sorry. Coming out of BC, Canada, standing at 5'7", 130 pounds. None other than Chrissy!
Wow, really? You can't even pronounce the woman's name right? And they call you a professional? What the hell were they thinking giving you a microphone?
You know what? It's my thing. I screw up names. It's gonna take me a few minutes a few times to actually get it right, alright?
Well, I'll tell you what.
That's your...
Both of these women are tough. Ayani is a classic Japanese wrestler with martial arts. She has a devious streak about her. We'll have to see how that works out. Chrissy, she's a tough as nails brawler and wrestler. These two ladies are going to get it on, brothers.
Funny thing about Chrissy is her unorthodox and sometimes confusing manner. Because one minute she's tough as nails, ready to go, and the next minute she could care less about the match and is friendly as all hell.
Can you say bipolar ADHD?
I was thinking more of acute schizophrenia, but sure, we can say that.
Okay. Because, yeah, she's more worried about what the fans think about her. She's more worried about looking pretty, and she's more worried about trying to be the face of the women's division. Ani is here to do one thing, and that's compete. This is a perfect match for Ani to finally show Kristen that she does not belong here. She doesn't need to be here, and she needs to take her little pretty girl style and go around SL and become an SL pageant model or something. There you go. Kicked right to the face by Ani. That's how you start a match, and that's how you make a statement from the beginning by saying, you do not deserve to breathe the same air that I breathe. This is my yard. You're going to be kicked out.
Did you not see how that match actually started out? Chrissy jumped on the ropes as Ayani ran toward her. She ran into the turnbuckle and she jumped over her, showing her athleticism. But right now, with that, Ayani is actually in control right now with that 180 leg drop onto Chrissy. And that's just, it just shows you the speed and the style of Ayani herself.
See, Ani comes in here and she takes pride in what she does. Oh, that was a gorgeous bulldog.
Oh my God! That was poetry in motion, fellas.
And it was. I mean, she did that. I saw a moonsault from jumping from the middle rope. But as she came around, she actually hooked her legs around Chrissy, and Chrissy just came right back up and then bulldogged her. It was, I tell you what, you can't see a finer move. And right now, Chrissy comes back with that rebound crossbody, actually dropping Ayani.
Chrissy is still in this fight.
I think the bad side of Sybil has actually showed up. With that headbutt drop, right there, just right there on the chest area, right above the heart, definitely her shoulder, something. I can't tell from down here.
Somebody brought a dog to the auditorium. I hear a dog whining.
That's just Natalie over here talking is all that is. Sounds like a little chihuahua going off.
Oh, I mean a real dog.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Wolf. Anyway. Right now, Ayani's getting counted out, reaching 4. Now 5. Now, folks, you got to remember, last woman standing, she's got to be down for the count of 10. You can't pin them. You can't make them submit. You have to make sure they stay down for the count of 10.
This might as well be called a knockout match.
Oh, look at that tsunami kick that Ayani just performed, caught Chrissy completely off guard. And now Chrissy's the one that's laying down on her back where she belongs.
This kind of match, you're going to see it. High impact and punches and kicks, knees, all kinds of that. And martial arts. You see them kicks by Ayani? It's just showing that she is what she is. She's got at least a 10th degree black belt in Hapkido. That's what I read.
Well, I'm going to steal a line, even though I really don't like the guy, but I'm going to steal a line from the great, everybody knows him, Jim Ross. That's just showing off her educated feet.
So far, it's back and forth, and Chrissy is standing again, and the referee going to have to start counting.
Right now, and Chrissy's taking control for sure, as even though the kicks to the midsection are really gonna. And why is Chrissy saying purple power?
Because maybe she's reverting back to her childhood and she thinks that she's wrestling Barney.
Well, that schizophrenia of hers is actually caught a hold of her again.
I think Ayana's hair's got a little bit of a purple tinge to it. This is what I've been waiting for. The outside of the ring. Now it is Brawl a Go-Go, baby. Ayana is dragging Chrissy all the way back to the back.
She's doing exactly what I said she was going to do at the beginning, and she's using that greasy hair on the top of Chrissy's pretty little head to mop the floor with her.
She has
Then
been
her hair
driving.
wouldn't be greasy, would it? It'd be actually wet.
She's driving the head of Kristen into that there fan ramp. I wouldn't be surprised if she starts to bleed from her forehead.
Now, Ayani actually doing a little too much of the celebrating, or fan control or fan favorite, as you would actually say, as she all of a sudden, Christy's kind of up, kind of dazed, but she's up.
And I'm sure Chrissy thinks that she's just so great and so fabulous that when she bleeds, it's going to come out glitter. And Chrissy tried to go for a spear there and was caught with a high knee. And I think that kind of put whatever plans that she had on the back burner.
10 punches.
Go ahead there, Rowdy.
Chrissy has the advantage. She took it, and she just delivered 10 big old punches to Ayani.
Your Whopper is sitting right here, Superior. I'll catch you after the show.
I'm not even going to comment on that. As right now, Chrissy just snake-eyes Ayani right there on the ramp. gotta be it. That ramp is got those sharp edges and is known to cut people.
6, 7.
And that just shows how tough Ani is. She took the snake eyes off of the steel ramp, and she still got up.
She drop kicks right now, Chrissy, over the barricade.
Yep, I think they're going to take this brawl out to the fans. It's going to take it right into the bleachers.
As she comes off with a suicide dive.
Why is the ref up to 8 and 9 when the action is still going on? Does the ref not know she's supposed to start over?
A lapse in judgment.
You must have taught her how to count.
Yanni picks up Chrissy, stopping the count, and
Would suggest all fans move out of the way. Want to accidentally get kicked. Now the ref starts counting. She's up to 2.
and Chrissy is using a fan to get back to her feet.
And then high-fived him? What the...
Thanking him for his help.
She's worried about thanking somebody as opposed to paying attention on her, keeping her attention focused on her opponent that is beating the living hell out of her right now?
And Ayani just round kicked the fan and knocked him on the ground, and the superior Bear Davey felt what it's like to be in the ring.
Well, I told him to move.
And it goes to show you too something, fellas out there. You want to date any one of these lady wrestlers, you better treat them right, because they'll kick your ass.
Goes jumping off the knee and missile drop kick, but
oh hell
it's
yeah!
Another fan.
Oh no, that's not just a fan. That is Jack. You know who he is. He's a wannabe big shot here at Turbulence, and he got exactly what he deserved for not staying out of the way. Get him out of the way, Aina, and go ahead and finish off Chrissy.
Ayani.
You're going to correct me after what you've been saying all night?
Okay. Right now, Chrissy is high-fiving everybody while Ayani is actually on the ground still at this point.
Fans are getting their money worth. They put the hard-earned dollars down for tickets to come see these people fight. They get to see it right in front of them.
I think the fans are getting more than their money's worth when they're actually becoming part of the action. And right now we got them sitting outside the barricade.
And wait, I see Morgan Monarch. She's coming up here.
Like, what does the Temptations champion want to do? she actually hit her with that base.
And now she's turned her attention to Chrissy. That's exactly what she needs to do. She wears the title, and yet all these other girls around here do actually get the spotlight from her, and she's taking back what's rightfully hers. She's the champion. She's on top of everything. They need to be bowing down to her, and she's coming out here and proving the fact that she is being overlooked and she's being disrespected when it's not deserving.
Nonsense. These two ladies are having a fight, and she interfered. That's exactly what happened.
Hey,
That's not sportsmanship, and that's not very championship-like. Oregon Monarch, she's just got sour grapes, and that just ain't right.
Oh, it's not right when somebody you don't like comes in and does it, but yet it's okay for the people that you like to hide under the ring and go and run and hide behind the management and everything else to keep their title. She's out here saying, you know what, I'm a competitor and I'm going to do whatever it takes to catch everybody's attention, and I'm going to make you respect me.
Here you go, Morgan. Here you go, Morgan.
Now, everybody be quiet and listen to what this woman has to say.
Now, shh. I'm talking. I guess you all want to know why I just did that. Well, I am fed up with these two taking the spotlight. I am the Temptations champion, and I should get the spotlight. So right here, right now, I am challenging both of you to a triple threat match this Saturday at our global warming free pay-per-view for this Temptations belt, my Temptations belt, to prove to both of you that I am the better woman, because everybody here knows that I am. And that I am more deserving of the spotlight.
And there you have it. The women's champion, the Turbulence women's champion, coming up and challenging both of them. Not just one, she's challenging both of them. She's showing what it takes to be a true champion, and she's challenged them both. Now, do you two have anything to say about that? Do you have anything you want to whine about and say that she wasn't being fair?
Well, honestly, she can't say either one of them won or lost because the match got thrown out. But, you know, I will say she has some ovaries coming out here and stating what she actually stated.
Well, I'll tell you, I think everything that happened, the fans are the beneficiaries because it's quite entertaining. I think the champion herself, she's narcissistic. She wants that spotlight just because she got the championship. However, she also beat up both them ladies. She didn't just choose one. She walked on both of them. So it's going to be a good three-way match any way you look at it.
Well, if you think about it, when you hold a title, regardless if you've earned it like she has or if it's given to you and it only looks good on paper, you're supposed to be the spotlight because you are the quote-unquote ring bearer for your division. She deserves to be the center of attention, and she has been overlooked because of little goody two-shoes like Chrissy and like some of the other women that are down there who are not up to her caliber. She did the right thing. She stepped up here and she says, you know what, I'm the champion. You're going to have to come. You're going to have to take what's mine, and I'm tired of taking a back burner to those of you who are not deserving or who do not hold a title.
Well, even so, the only thing I didn't like is the fact she didn't come out with her bare hands and do it. she watched the match. She came out, and I understand opportune time, but she had a weapon in hand. So I do agree with what she did to make her statement, but I don't agree with how she actually did it.
You know what? Nobody really cares what you agree with. She came out, she made a statement, end of story. She challenged them both, and now it looks like we got a great triple threat set up for this coming Saturday at Global Warming.
What she could have done,
that is true.
What she could have done, she could have come down here, sat down, and talked about both ladies during the match. That would have had more of a ring of fairness to it. But instead, she waits. These two ladies had pretty much fought that out into exhaustion, and not just her. She brought a baseball bat, and she tried to hit a home run on both them ladies' heads, and that's over the top, and that is definitely showing how much of a narcissist that lady is.
Really? You'd rather her come down here and talk about what she's going to do, or come down here and show what she's capable of doing and what she's willing to do to make sure that they understand exactly who she is?
Oh, I'll tell you, I hope, and I can't wait for the three-way, and that means that when she comes to the ring for the three-way dance, both of these ladies are going to be 100%, not exhausted from already fighting. And that's going to make a difference. She thinks she's going to have an advantage just because she's got a belt, just because she likes to see herself in the mirror. I don't think that's going to happen. Who knows who's going to win this match, but it just might not be Miss Morrigan.
Either way, we'll have to wait till Saturday. We'll have to wait till Saturday to see on whose predictions is right. Right now, definitely, once again, folks, please just shout HUD or website. Get those together. With the HUD, you can have production. Take control of your camera. You ain't got to mess with your cameras. It's all taken care of for you. Plus, you can boo, you can cheer, you can support. You can even rate the show. You can even rate the wrestlers. Definitely shout HUD and get that together. Also, we'd like to also thank CFL. Did you know that you can play football here in SO? Coalition Football League is the premier football league for all your football-related desires. Contact Veronica Gears for more info. Also, do you own a business? I'm sure there's a few business owners out there. Well, VAW is proud to announce that we are offering sponsorship packages starting at a low price of $200 Linden a month. If you want the best, you come to the best. Contact Jetty Porta for more details. How about that? The main event, guys.
It's going to be a tag team match. It'll be a good one.
Right. Turbulence versus Elite is in the main event.
Hey, you know something there, Natalie? I did a little bit of research because when I was out here last week, I noticed that you and one of the biggest talents that we have here, Darian, I noticed you two were going at it. What exactly is kind of catch me up on the history. Why is it that he dislikes you so much?
I mean, why do I dislike him?
Okay, sure, we'll go with that. Oh, speaking of...
Really?
You know, Natalie. Green is not your color, and I know you're green with him because you want to be like him more than you want to be like me. But yeah, you need to get your little jealousy streak under control there because it's not becoming.
Actually, I'm not green with envy. I'm green with disgust because of what he has done to me in the past and what he has done, and that gold around his belt. That is. Did you know that it was actually rumored on the website that he actually was at a pawn shop with a duffel bag? So
you're one of those people that everything that goes on the internet is absolutely true. Really?
Hey, it was speculated, but it could have been him, but he could have been selling some of his, trying to get extra money and try to sell some of his other things. I'm sure. some kind of pipe would go for, $20.
Well, I know for a fact that a few months ago or a lot long ago, you and him got into it and he broke your arm. And I know that you're still being a little pissy over the fact that with the broken arm that your dating life went out the window, and it was thanks to him, but he probably did us all a favor, so at least you can see a little bit.
Right. Well, apparently he's got a mic, so he's going to talk.
Good evening, wrestling fans. I, Darian the Great De Silva, once again graces you with my presence. Now, for the past few weeks, I have fought and proven myself time and time again. Ever since I first debuted on up till now, I declared war and said that I was going to conquer, defeat, and dismantle, and I did just that. Now, management has been a pain in the ass. So, for everybody out there, I'm just going to say this now. Fuck management. Fuck Natalie over there behind the desk. Fuck anybody who does not like me. I'm not here for you to like me. I'm here because I am the greatest at what I do. Now, management has not recognized my potential. So, what you saw last week, I came out here and I kicked Alexius the Dragon in the face. And I took what he held most dear away. So, I'm out here demanding that I get a title shot. I demand management to bring their sorry asses out here right now and set this up, because I deserve a title shot.
Oh, here we go. Management comes out, and they're going to tell him blah, blah, yada, 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 and bore us all to death. Give the man the match he deserves and get it over with. Good grief. Quit trying to come out here and kiss all these fans' ass.
What exactly does he deserve? He stole the belt.
Well, it seems like declaring war is the flavour of the month around here at the moment, but anyway, you've got some big balls on you to demand that I come out here and deal with you, but I was going to anyway.
Damn right I do. I have the biggest, thank you very much.
Yeah, funny man, Darian, funny man. You see, last week I suspended your ass, and yet you still come back out, and not only did you defy me, you took the title from Alexius, and somehow you think that gives you the right for a title match. Somehow that doesn't make you great in my eyes. You want a title match, you have to prove it to me. You have to show me that you are worthy of it. You don't go and steal somebody else's belt.
Hello, first of all, whoa, let me stop you there. First of all, I have proven I deserve a title shot. I slayed the Cobra, put him away in a nice pretty box. I've defeated the Demon of Death. I've even beat the former two-time VAW champion. What more else is there left for me to prove? I'm ready.
You're right, you have done all those things, but in the process, you've pissed a lot of people off. Your attitude is a lot to be desired, and, well, doing shit like you did last week...
You know what I say to the people that I piss off? Fuck them!
And that is what I'm talking about. But I have to admire your balls. You got my attention. If you hadn't got it before, you've got it now. But that belt around your waist there, that doesn't belong to you. So I think it is time for you to hand that back over to me so I can give it back to its rightful owner, Alexius Gant.
Only way I am handing this belt over is if I get a title shot. That is the only way.
You want a title shot, you want a title shot. If I give you a title shot for stealing the belt, that sets a bad precedent. That means that everybody else will have that idea in their head that they'll come out here, attack the champion, take the belt, and then demand a title shot. That is not how things are done. And you think you holding that title belt means that you're in control, that you have got this situation all under wraps?
Hey, possession is 9/10 of the law, my friend. I'm just saying.
I could fire out your ass right here on the spot, right now, and get security to take that belt from your waist.
I could kick your head off of your shoulders. But I'm here saying I want a title shot. Make it happen, Niall.
Okay. You want a title shot? Fine. I think I've got a plan. You can get your title shot this Saturday against Alexius Gant.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. It's about time.
But you have to put up more than giving me that title back. You're gonna have to put up your whole entire VAW career. If you lose, your ass is gone. Your ass is fired. You're no longer here. Sayonara. See you later.
What?
Yeah, that's it. You want real stakes? You want to be the VAW champion? You want to prove yourself? You put your career on the line. If you're so great, that won't even bother you.
Alright. I'll put my career on the line. That I will slay the Italian Dragon this Saturday. And I will walk away the new VAW champion.
Okay. So this Saturday at Global Warming, 26th of July, 3 p.m. SLT, it will be you versus Alexius Gant for the VAW title. If you lose, you're gone. See you later. If you win, you're the VAW champion. But this isn't going to be any ordinary match. Because seeing as you've got your little mitts on it, and seeing as Alexius can't hold his hands on it either, I'm going to take it off you. And then Saturday, I'm going to suspend it high above the ring, and then you two will have to get a ladder to reclaim it. So, this Saturday, 3 p.m. SLT, Global Warming, you versus Alexius Gant for the VAW title in a ladder match.
Alright.
So now you've got your title match. Now you've got it. And your career's on the line. Just remind you of that fact, you know. Hand that belt back over to me.
Damn it.
That's right, Darian. Do the right thing.
Shut up, Natalie. He's not doing the right thing. He's being blackmailed is what he's doing. Here, Niall is coming out here asserting his authority, saying, I got to put all these stipulations on you, but yet Sin, all he has to do is just show up to the match. That is not fair. That is not right, and you know it.
Good man, Darian. Good man. I'll see you Saturday at Global Warming. And good luck. I think you'll need it.
Way I see it, if he doesn't make this match a hard one, if he doesn't set that stakes that high, everybody's going to try to steal a belt just so they can get a shot. He's trying to crush a precedent that...
luck. I am Darian, the Great De Silva.
Well, he'll be Darian the Great Disappointment when he actually hears the song na 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 hey 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 goodbye.
You know, if Niall's going to come out here and he's going to be abusive with his power and he's going to put it to where everything is stacked against Darian, I think Niall should have stepped up and said, you know what, I want to do the very same thing. I will retire when Darian emerges victorious from that ladder match, and Darian can shut him up once and for all, because that was a blatant abuse of power. It's uncalled for. That's just somebody going on with an ego trip, and just like you, his ego is 4 times as big as SL, and this getting out of control, and management is allowing him to do it. Somebody needs to put a rein on him and hold him down and say, you know what, you need to start thinking about what is good for this company. You need to start thinking about what's going to bring people in and put their butts in the seats for these matches, and guys like Darian is what does that.
Darian's worse than a second life reaper. I tell you what, he stole that title, and that's a precedence that Niall Nightfire is wisely does not want to have set. This is why Niall's made for that match. And I can tell by the fan reaction that, despite what you say, Mr. BK, it's going to be a good thing.
Either way, we have a VAW Championship match, ladder match at that, at Global Warming this Saturday at 3 p.m. SLT. So, I mean, honestly, I can't wait. I want to actually sing that song to Darian. Maybe somewhere in the back.
You know what? I think what they should have done is, instead of having a ladder match, they should have had a pinata match, and they should have put the belt around your waist and hung you up, and the first one that knocks the shit out of you and knocks you down and takes the belt off your waist should be the champion.
Do you hear NG? I swear. Anyway, let's get going to the main event. At least I hope.
At least then, if you were holding the belt and you were part of the match, at least you'd be doing something productive for a change.
Yeah, unlike you, doing what?
At least I could enunciate and I could pronounce words instead of sitting over here and acting like I got something in my mouth and trying to talk with my mouth full.
Yeah, that's what your wife said last night. Anyway, we're off to the main event.
You can't say that because we all know you're not into women.
introducing the teams as they came out. One is from Bakersfield, Florida, standing at 6'2", weighing 210 pounds. The other one hails from Houston, Texas, standing at 6'5", weighing 230 pounds. The team of the Southern Renegade, Danny Boy Firehawk, and Danny Thunder. And hailing from Hollywood, California, standing at 6'2", 220 pounds. The other one, standing at 6'3", weighing 209 pounds, from Houston, Texas, the phenomenal Jamal Travis and Mr. Hollywood.
Shouldn't that actually be Mr. Bollywood?
I'm not sure. Just know the other team over there has a champion. We have a champion. They're from Elite. We're from, they're from here. So, and honestly, my money's on our guys.
Well, I would say that's probably the most intelligent thing you've said in the past 2 weeks, because this is Turbulence. This is the A show. This is the A brand for VAW. And we got Southern Renegade and Danny Thunder up there, and they're going to prove why everybody wants to be here, as opposed to sitting over there with Mr. Bollywood. And he says he's phenomenal, but I have never seen him perform, so I'm just going to call him the minimal Jamal Travis.
Danny Boy Firehawk and Danny Thunder, their tag team, if they stay a tag team, I bet you they'd be something like Southern Thunder or something like that.
Well, here's the thing about it is, yes, they're looking at common enemies, but can the brawl from last week, can they actually put that aside to take care of the two from Elite?
Well, I stated it before, and anybody that wasn't here will probably agree with me that unlike you, when you're a true professional, it doesn't matter if you have personal differences between you and another performer because you butt heads, or you have different styles, or you have different things you want to do. When you got two idiots that are coming over here from Elite thinking they're going to just waltz right in here and they're going to run roughshod and they're going to take over, yeah, you're going to put your personal differences aside because you are going to protect your yard. And that's exactly what Mr. Bollywood and Mr. Minimal have done. If they come over here and they have taken on the two of the biggest pit bulls that we have in this yard, and they're going to be sent back home crying with their tail tucked between their legs.
I do agree. Because seeing Danny Boy actually in the ring, and Danny Boy in the ring, his fists and his kicks, those are pretty powerful. His fists are like cinder blocks. It's got some of the strongest legs here in VAW. We have also Danny Thunder, who's tall, who's strong, who's big, and they send over these two.
I'll say this. Whoever wins is going to be the tag team that's hungry. The tag team that wants this is the tag team that's going to win.
Jamal starts off with a little technical as he puts Danny Boy in that wrist lock. Turns it right into a headlock. And this is smart of Jamal. Jamal actually isolating Danny Boy, dragging him to his corner as far away from his partner as possible.
Now we have a bit of double team action as Mr. Hollywood comes in the ring, and Jamal still has Danny Boy in a headlock.
Jamal was smart when he tagged in Hollywood. He held on to that until Hollywood could come in and take his spot. So, but don't know right now. It seems like he's trying to get Danny Boy out of his corner. and Danny Boy hits him with that clothesline. Looked like Hollywood was trying to go in for one of his own, but Danny Boy actually hits him with that clothesline, which threw him for a loop. And he goes for the pin.
I'm really surprised that Mr. Bollywood there was able to keep his boots on after that one.
Only a 1 count. Now it's basically the way you look at it is, I mean, Danny Boy himself is like an animal. You get him like a wild animal. You get him cornered, he's going to fight his way out, one way or another. And that's precisely what he did. And right now he's got Hollywood in that corner.
Danny Boy Firehawk has a reputation both in and out of the ring. In the ring, he's got a reputation of being a tough brawler with a mean-ass kick. And out of the ring, he is well known for starting fights in honky-tonks and bars and beating the hell out of starting riots and breaking up bars. He must have had to pay for several pool tables that got busted.
And you said it right over there, Natalie. You said that, Southern, he is an animal. And, of course, we got Mr. Bollywood over here who thinks he's a star. But right now, the only movie he's starring in is George of the Jungle.
Mr. Hollywood is using a lot of kicks and knees and stomps. Big old knee drop. He's showing his presence in this match.
I see Mr. Bollywood over here, pandering to the crowd, and he thinks he's something, and he's showing off, and he's calling himself a star, but stars shine. Is it me, or the only thing shine is the glare off his forehead?
That's the thing you're gonna look at too. We've got Dave Thunder gnashing at the teeth, trying to get ready to get in and take control of this match. But Jamal and Hollywood, trying to keep each other fresh, bringing Danny Boy over and isolating him once again.
I've been sitting here watching this match for, ever since it started, approximately 3 or 4 minutes ago, and you got Minimal over here that's come in, and the only thing I've seen him do is a headlock in front face lock. Does the guy even know what a wrestling move is? Does he even know how to wrestle, or is he just going to sit there and hold him like he's trying to rock him to sleep, and then Bollywood's going to come in here and act like that he's some kind of big shot, and that he's some kind of big star, which we all know he's not, because the only way that he's a star is when he does his own home movies.
He was working on a production called The Condom of Doom. I don't know what low-budget film that is, but it doesn't sound good. Oh, and there goes the Fisherman Suplex pin. and a 2 count. Danny Boy actually kicks out. That's the thing about Danny Boy. He's hard-headed. He's definitely the tough. He's really one of the toughest competitors here at Turbulence. And I don't think a fisherman suplex is actually gonna keep him down.
Danny Boy Firehawk's former champion. He earned every bit of that gold.
Well, what I'm trying to figure out about Minimal here is he claims they say he's a champion, which obviously he's a paper champion because I've yet to see him do except one wrestling move. So I wonder where he got his training. I wonder if he pulled up some old videos from back in the 80s and he watched that Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling cartoon show and said, "Oh, I can do that."
God, I actually remember that show. Right now, Jamal has Danny Boy in the corner with them corner gut punches. The thing about it is, I mean, that may have affected, Danny Boy, but punching his stomach is like punching a brick wall, I would believe.
Well, it's like you said earlier. I mean, Southern, he's a big, rough, tug of son of a bitch, and he's one of the fiercest competitors that we have here in Turbulence, just like Danny Boy is. The match is still early. There's been a couple of back and forths and whatnot, but I think what Minimal is over here doing is each time that he punches Southern or every time he tries to do a move, I think all he's doing is he's just helping Southern get pissed off. Southern's going to come out and he's going to lay him out is what's going to end up happening.
Danny Boy Firehawk nailed him with a ball-busting atomic drop.
And right now, Danny Boy's got the advantage. He needs to go make a tag. I understand that, he's tough as nails, but even the human body, no matter how tough you are, has a limit. And honestly, right now, he needs to make a tag as he takes Jamal and does an Irish strip. A nice clothesline by Danny Boy, dropping Jamal on the mat as he goes for the pin. One. And 2, only a 2 count as Jamal kicks out. I was just screaming, follow the script. I'm not sure what script he's looking at.
Yeah, I'm expecting him any minute now to start crying like a little girl and going, cut, this is not how it's supposed to be, this is not how it's supposed to be, this is not how I wrote it. I'm expecting him to try to go all Bollywood on everybody, and all he's going to end up is just going to get... He does not need to be in the ring. He needs to try to be out in Hollywood trying to be a big star that he really thinks that he is. He doesn't need to be in the ring because he just does not have what it takes, and they definitely don't need to be here at Turbulence trying to throw their weight around because the two of them put together, the only weight they have might equal the amount of 2 pennies.
And I have to agree with you there because it's like you said, this is Turbulence. This isn't Elite. This is where where champions are really made, and it's made through hard work, made through sweat, blood, tears. I have yet to see somebody actually given a title.
Before Danny Boy Firehawk has been pretty much keeping this match going against both of these fellas.
I hear cat meowing. Is that Mr. Bollywood over there whining again?
Right now, he goes down for 2, and yes, he actually gets 2.
Oh, Mr. Hollywood's a trip, man. That's tough as shit. He thinks this is a damn movie.
And he does a roll-up, and Jamal actually does a roll-up and gets a 2 count. it seems like whatever is going on, they may put it to the side, but it doesn't look like they want to make a tag. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Yes, I spoke too soon.
As usual, just talking out of your ass and not watching the action develop, thinking that you're some kind of psychic, and once again, you're wrong, which means we need to get some duct tape put over your mouth and let some real professionals handle this.
Hey, now, excuse me, if you're gonna get kinky, try to proposition me somewhere that isn't on the table, okay? But, other than that, in the ring right now, we have a fresh Danny Boy against a semi-fresh, a semi-worn Jamal Travis. As right now, Danny Thunder is actually taking it with a wrist lock, and now a strike on the wrist, on that arm that he actually had.
Danny Thunder is one individual.
Well, they asked for the thunder, and they didn't realize with it comes the lightning. And, well, unfortunately for Danny Thunder, it wasn't much, but a clothesline which took the big man down and flipped him around.
When you do high impact moves from the ropes, you take just as much of a chance as if you was going to leap off the top turnbuckle. They can backfire too.
But Jamal is obviously underestimating though Danny Thunder as he's just grinning at Danny Boy. And a knee drop there by them, and that's the thing about Elite. I mean, we've beaten them in ratings for how long now? Several months, and yet they're gonna come in here acting like they're the top brand. It's not the case at all. Okay, once I said, especially when we get the ratings that come out, since we started doing that, there's only been a few times that Elite actually beats out. And it's a close race, but we always pull ahead.
Well, I'll tell you something that I'm really looking forward to, and that's this coming Saturday at Global Warming, and we got that great big battle royal that's coming up, and it's going to feature Elite and Turbulence superstars. And once again, Turbulence is going to show why we are the superior brand, because there will be a Turbulence star standing at the end of that match.
And that's right. I mean, I'm not for sure everybody that's in it, but except for the two men earlier, Sin and Trent Raza. It's going to be in that Battle Royal. But right now in the match, we've got Danny Thunder with a big boot knocking Jamal Travis down on his back.
And also don't forget that the four men that are competing right now, they're also going to be part of that big Battle Royal on Saturday. So this is kind of just if you want to look at it, this is kind of a small taste of what people can look forward to at Global Warning this Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. SLT. So definitely want to come out, and that way Turbulence can show their dominance.
Most definitely, and like you said, this is a preview of what's going to happen Saturday. And the only difference is there's not going to be any teams. It's every man for himself. As Jamal Travis is does a leaping shoulder block. Block definitely knocks down Danny Thunder, the big man. And we got to see, once again, don't know what's exactly going to happen here with this. And it seems like right now, Danny Thunder and Danny Boy is kind of on the same page. But I can say so much, we've got Hollywood and Jamal, who's not really in Sikh either. Oh my God! Look at that strength, picking up the big man for a jackhammer.
Well, I got to give him props on that one. That's the first real wrestling move that he's pulled off, and that was very devastating and very high impact. And it's left our man Danny in the middle of the ring, and he's got to get up and he's got to get over and tag Southern, because if not, it's going to spell the end for our Turbulence guys, and we cannot have that in our own backyard on our show.
Now in comes Mr.
Wait a minute.
And Mr. Bollywood performed a blind tag, and his partner wasn't expecting it. He's coming in to steal the spotlight.
Expect from a B-lister. I mean an A-lister.
Yeah,
You mean an A-list asshole? Oh, absolutely.
Because Jamal was stalking Danny Thunder after he was down. Looked like he was hoping for Danny Thunder to get up so he could do something else. But now Mr. Hollywood is in the ring against Danny Thunder, who just belly-to-back suplexed the boy.
I think you mean belly-to-belly suplex, but either way, he took him and threw him.
Is it me, or is the minimal over there, is he getting a little bit irritated with this part? Whoa, he is walking off. He is leaving Mr. Bollywood to fend for himself since he wants to be the star. He just said you can have the whole show.
Well, that definitely puts, that ends up putting Mr. Hollywood in a bad spot.
See, and that goes back to prove why I say that we have the superior stars, we have the superior athletes here, because even though these two gentlemen, Danny and Southern, had their differences, they were able to come together for the good of the brand and prove why we can, when necessary, we can come together as a team and conquer all, whereas these two just wanted to, if they tried to come in here and try to make it a one-man show, and that's not how it works, and he's getting exactly what he deserves.
He hits that double.
Both Danny and Thunder grinning like hungry sharks, and that there devil like DDT. Whoa!
And Danny Thunder only gets a 2 count.
And we got Minimal up there, and he's just watching the action. He's just got this really silly grin on his face, like it's not like he just walked out in the middle. It's like he had a plan. He left his elite comrade left high and dry. He set this up. And that goes to prove why this coming Saturday, 2 days from now, 3 p.m., we're going to have at Global Warming a Battle Royal. And this is one of the reasons. I understand there's only going to be one man left standing, but I would almost say that the Turbulence guys are going to come together and they're going to get rid of all the prima donnas, and then the real athletes are going to shine.
I rate by Hollywood and an Irish.
As he runs back to Hollywood, Hollywood hits that tilt-a-whirl backbreaker and definitely putting him down.
Wait a minute, is Minimal coming back?
Mr. Hollywood in the driver's seat.
Wait a minute. Look at the ramp, guys. The ramp is beginning to fill up with superstars.
Actually, no, that's somebody from Elite. That's actually, yes, that's Belial. Now, the story behind Hollywood and Belial is simply Belial has stolen his girlfriend, he burnt down where he was filming Condom of Doom, and basically what ends up happening at this point is, his girlfriend Bree Fox was actually in the building at the moment, and when the Inferno match happened, she actually faked her injuries, helped Hollywood get the win in that Inferno match, I guess, against Belial. But then Belial won the war there. I mean, Hollywood may have won the match, but Belial won the war because he took Brie Fox, and he has had her ever since.
Well, I'm not exactly sure I'd be bragging about that. After she's been with Bollywood, I don't think I'd want to touch anything or have anything to do with her for the rest of my life. And now we got Bilal up on the apron, and he's caught Bollywood's attention. Bollywood is worried more about what Bilal's doing than he is about winning the match and going home with bragging rights for Elite.
Well, I think at this point his girlfriend's kind of more important, I would think, but it's still in the ring. You got it. You're right. I mean, right now he can worry about that after the match, as I guess the match is over.
I haven't heard the referee call it yet.
What? She just called for the bell. That's what it was.
And now we got Southern coming back into the ring. We got Bollywood crawling and begging for mercy. JC Storm's coming down. Sarah, I thought you'd get out of the ring and get out of the way and let these guys go at it, because I hate to say it, I don't think they're going to listen to you.
This is an appetizer for Saturday's main battle royal.
Here comes Dave Mack. The ring is starting to fill up with everybody that is involved in the battle royal this coming Saturday. And all hell's just broken loose. And, of course, Bollywood, he's crawling out of the ring like the worm that he is. And there goes Bilal over the top.
And it's just basically, yeah, I agree with you. Sarah needed to get out of there. Right now it's just mayhem in the ring. And Sarah, I don't think ringing the bell is going to help.
Sarah, we know the match is over, but these guys don't care. These guys are ready to rip each other's heads off.
Right now, Team Elite has been basically outnumbered, because two of the Elite members are actually out here beating on each other, leaving the other two to the mercy of Dave Mack, Danny Thunder, and Danny Boy.
Well, see, that's one of the reasons why after this Battle Royal coming up on global warming, that's why the Turbulence is going to stand tall, because even coming in here, they filled the ring with their guys. Our stars are here, and then you got two of their guys going at it outside the ring because of personal issues. There's a time to do it and a time to put it aside, and unfortunately, Belil, he's a rookie, and it's a rookie mistake, but he just cost his brand bragging rights.
Actually, with him attacking Hollywood, technically Team Elite actually won this match.
But now it's got to make you wonder, with these guys going at it, is everybody going to be 100% for Saturday?
That is a good point there. Even though there's still, I want to count like two or more people that aren't here, and maybe this is going to give them the advantage that they need at this point. And
Sarah over here, she's doing her best to try to be the voice of authority here, and she's being totally ignored. Sarah, if I wouldn't stand that close, I'd go up the ramp if I were you, because I do not think these guys care right now. The only thing they're worried about is getting their hands on each other.
We need security out here. Security! And Danny Boy hitting that moonshiner on Jamal.
Alright, if security in the back can hear us, Sarah is calling for help. She needs some assistance out here. And Sarah's stomping off. She's basically saying, screw all this. You guys are here. You're going to clean up your own mess. You started it. I don't blame her. Get to safety.
Well, now, with Sarah going back, Belial's making his way back to the backstage area.
And we got Mr. Bollywood down here trying to crawl away like a little weasel because we know he's got no talent.
Look at them pyros from Belial.
Oh yeah, Belial, that really showed Turbulence, didn't it? You can come in, beat up your own guy, and then turn around and go up and throw off some fire. Yeah, that really showed. Yeah, okay.
Well, right now, Danny Boy's in there with JC Storm, and he catches him with that kick. Hits that storm, or the thing he calls a storm shutter. Right now, it's just.
You got Mr. Bollywood crawling on his hands and knees up the ramp, not far behind. It looks like Danny Thunder's going after him. He's not done with him just yet after what Belial did to him.
Just got word from the back that JC is actually entrant number 1. So he's trying to get an advantage here with this deal. So, I mean, if he's number 1, he's got to go through everybody.
Got Dave Mack over in the corner doing a number on the minimal. Guys, if this is just a sample of what we're going to be looking forward on Saturday, I cannot wait to get here and get it on and get these guys in the ring and let them show what they've got. It is going to be one phenomenal FPV. So you people, make sure you tell everybody. Make sure you get over here Saturday afternoon and witness all the melee that is going to ensue when both brands get together and they just light up SL.
I think with all this going on, especially with the 3 in the ring, Dave Mack's working right now. Dave Mack is on Jamal, and he needs to make his way out of the ring. Let Turbulence have our ring back.
Come on, guys. You got 2 Turbulence stars in there and one Elite. Throw him out. Take back. Oh, now he climbs out of the ring. He gets one little final shot in, and now he crawls out and takes off running. That's an Elite person for you. That's what they do over at Elite. Hit and run, hit and run, hit and run.
I'll tell you folks right now, that is just a sample of what's going to happen this Saturday at 3 p.m. SLT. So be here and watch the mayhem soon. This has been VAW Turbulence. I am the voice of Detroit, Natasha Grimmore. To my right is Rowdy Rob. To my left is NG, or VK, whatever you want to call him. We will definitely catch you guys here every Thursday at 3 p.m. SLT. And don't forget, mark your calendars for Saturday, 3 p.m. SLT. Well, we are out of here. Peace.
This video was filmed on location by Zarrakan Productions. Zarrakan Productions is an umbrella group for many YouTube shows and businesses both inside and outside of Second Life. Please go to Zarrakan.com for a complete listing of shows and businesses associated with Zarrakan Productions and their own media links. Zarrakan Productions shows have been organized alphabetically in playlists in a year, month, day format for easier video navigation. Multiple part videos have been named accordingly, starting with part 1, and the last video of a multiple part video series will have end as a part of its title. Please like, comment, and share this video as it helps both Zarrakan Productions and the creators of this video's content. Also, be sure to check the playlists for past episodes of show content, and subscribe to this channel for future videos. Thank you for watching, and happy wandering.